I'll be talking on what's new in the areas of neurons for MDM and EPMM admin experience, app management, secure productivity apps, and partner conditional access. So let's start with this admin experience. So there are a couple of enhancements that we are doing in admin experience area. The first one is the reducing data retention. So as per the GDPR compliance policies, so we can't retain the data for more than 30 days, the device geolocation data. So we'll be providing an option for admin to delete the device geolocation data after a specific number of days. And by default, it won't get deleted, but admin, if he chooses to delete the data, it will get deleted. The second enhancement that we are doing is the you can now delete the user groups in the system by specifying the GUID. So currently it is by specifying the name. So so you can't find with the name, you may not find the exact group, right? User groups, but with GUID you can find the exact group and delete that. The next enhancement we are doing is the uh, s- uh, uh, about select preserving the specific device attributes when your device gets wiped.
Good morning.
So, hi.
I'm listening to
So,
something here.
so when your device gets wiped, we completely remove the device attributes also. But in some cases, we have been informed that admin would like to preserve certain device attributes. So we are giving an option to preserve certain device attributes. And here admin has to go and he has to select that device attribute which he wants to preserve. And then only it will get deleted. Second, we are improving any configuration changes that you are doing in LDAP. So that will be tracked under audit log now. Um, so that's the another enhancements. Then we will be providing an API to create a report of all application installed on all of the devices. So this feature is under feature flag. So if any specific customer is interested, so they have to notify us and we can enable that feature flag for them for this particular release. So basically for all devices, you can just call that API and get the report of all application installed. Then we are providing a functionality to restrict the device registration by as enrollment type. So here the primary objective is to prevent non-corporate owned devices from being mistakenly enrolled. So we'll be blocking the device registration for iOS devices, Android and Windows devices. Default behavior will not be to block any devices with any enrollment type, but if admin goes and chooses it, then he can block that. So this is the roadmap for admin experience. Okay, so on app management side, we are coming up with a support for Vision OS, like similar to any apps that you currently manage, like iOS apps, Mac apps. So you will also able to manage the Vision OS apps also with app management. Uh, I would also like to highlight that we have a lot of focus on supporting and utilizing the Apple DDM framework for app management, and uh, so that's being actively worked on by the team right now. And from Q2 onwards, we are trying to make these features available in the sandbox. But all the features will be available, like entire DDM uh, support for the app management. You will see from the Q3 onwards. And we are also working on to have a better control over public app updates, like if any public app update got released. So we are thinking how the admin should get notified. Uh, they should have some option to try it with some select users or groups first and then roll it out to all customers. So these are the two main improvements that we are planning in this year for app management. Okay, secure productivity apps. So then on Email Plus side, so we are coming up with a Teams integration. So what this means is that, so if you are using Email Plus in your environment and you want to schedule a meeting, so when you go in Email Plus and you schedule a meeting, you can include the Teams meeting link in that invite. So we are integrating with the Teams for that. And now you will also able to include the Teams invite link along in the Email Plus events that you will be creating. Again, there's a lot of work. As you know, that EWS is going to be end of support by this October. So we are actively working on supporting Graph API. And we are also working on supporting a multiple secondary account on iOS side. Currently, it only supports this one account. So you will have ability to use multiple secondary accounts in Email Plus iOS going forward. This is already supported on Android. It's coming on iOS now. So on EPMM app management side, we will be supporting public app distribution on in agile environment, which is coming in Q1. And we are also migrating to apps and books V2 API. On partner conditional access side, we completed the Google Beyond Corp integrations last quarter only, but there were some enhancements that Google were doing to ensure the correct identifications of devices which are getting enrolled to Google Workspaces. So for that, the MDM vendors also do certain changes, so that we are targeting in Q1.
Let's start with Android now. So for Android, this Q1, we are adding the support tab in the Go app. We already did this for iOS, and we've got really good feedback from customers. So of course, we are moving on and adding that in all our clients. This support tab, if you've seen for iOS, will allow customers to add some contact information in there for your end users to use if they need to reach out to support or specific groups when they need some additional help, right? You have your end users that are on the go. They need fast access to some information instead of going through wikis or some corporate websites. They can just go to this tab and click any of the links for the URLs or the phone numbers, and they'll have support. So that is coming. Also, this feature for the eSIM provisioning that people have been asking for a while, as we already supported for Windows and for iOS. Now it's coming for Android. So we've added the eSIM APIs into our platform, and now eSIM can be provisioned and without the need of the physical SIM cards and the shipping of those cards. Another option that we've added is the kiosk disconnect button. Many times some devices are used in the field for multiple use cases, sharing use cases of being in a kiosk and then having to do full use of the device. So now we've added on the Cloud Portal a disconnect button that is easy and makes this transition from one mode to another very easy and responsive compared to what our competitors can do. Another API that we've added is the retrieving the last logged user through APIs. So now you can audit and see easily through APIs, well, who was the last user that accessed the kiosk. As you may know, Samsung has deprecated the ePhoto management, so we've removed that from our UI. We don't create confusion within our customers, and we have updated now the UI Another important feature that we've added for Android is the set app functions policy that we've added in our MDM profile builder, because now our customers have more control for enabling permissions and features per application, per user group, or per device. It's very flexible, and this goes beyond just blocking, but now you can control specific and granular permissions and features for each application. For Android EPMM, it's a similar set of features. We've added, of course, the same setup functions policy for that granular control of applications. We are also adding the eSIM support. So EPMN will also have that capability in Q1 to provision the eSIM instead of the physical SIMs. And in EPMM also, we've added an ability to capture and report on the eSIM EID. That is usually very critical for customers to check what is on the device. Another option for auditing that we've added into EPMM for Android is an entry for rejected devices. So now the audit logs will have that entry that we didn't have before into the registration, right? So if an Android device has been rejected from registration, that will go into the logs as well. For the bulk enrollment on EPMM, we've added a field for IMEI, so we can identify and track devices during the bulk enrollment. And so you will be able to see now that IMEI for all those devices that have been bulk enrolled in EPMM. Quickly, for those customers that are using the branded clients from Deutsche Telekom, we've updated some images and logos that can be that are refreshed in the images. And also we've added a display, the EULA in the settings. So now we are making sure that end users can access the end user license agreement at any time. So the EULA now is accessible in device settings. So that is for Android, Neurons for MDM, and EPMM. Moving on to iOS and macOS. Let's move on to Apple. In Neurons for MDM, we added the math settings for all our customers that are in education. Usually this setting can be very helpful in how you can control the calculator application in macOS and iOS, iPad as well. So you can set the type of modes for the calculator. For the new Apple restriction that we added a few releases ago, we got feedback that it was hard to find the restrictions. So we've added a search, and when you search, it will filter and give you all the options that have the keyword that you've done in the search. So it makes it easier to find whatever key you're looking for. Another enhancement we're doing is the ability to report on the macOS encryption keys. So now in your device details and in reports, you can filter and you can create reports around the full disk encryption, institutional recovery key, and the personal recovery key. A very important feature for macOS is Labs. That has been a big request from customers in the past, and we are adding that in this release. Now customers can that have already set a local admin account on devices, they can set up the password rotation cadence, so it will remain secure. And if you provide that password to one of your users to do some admin activities that they need on the device, then it will be automatically refreshed with after the cadence that you've done, or you can also do it from the console and rotate manually the password. Another configuration that we are supporting is the screen sharing app restrictions for macOS. As you may know, macOS has its own sharing. So for those teams that IT team has macOS and your end user has a macOS, Apple has its own native app kind of troubleshooting or support screen sharing service. And Apple has added some controls so we can have better controls around that application and how it's connecting to the different devices and what can it do, right? So with these restrictions, you can control the clipboard sharing, drag and drop files. You can see or allow for multiple users that can observe the session as well, etc. In next releases, we will continue adding more enhancements to this one, where you can even control or add the host by default that this app needs to connect to. Another big improvement for macOS with declarative management, Apple has added the ability to distribute files directly to devices without the need of any agent. So if you are managing your Mac OSs and you don't want to manage with another extra client on your device, you can use this configuration where you can upload. You will see in our admin portal, there is a new scripts and files option where you can upload all those files in there. And then when you go to this configurations, files via declarative management, you will be able to select the files that you already uploaded and then set the distribute to the target devices. This is making our macOS solution very robust, especially for those customers that are not leveraging our mobile at work client for macOS. This is another feature. So Acme Search support has been added over a year ago. And now we are making sure that we're trying to help our customers make it more easy to use them, because the Acme Search needed manual renewal from our customers on their server. We've managed now to introduce this automated renewal. So 7 days before the expiration, our MDM will handle the renewal automatically. Another enhancement to the support tab, as we discussed for Android, that it's already available for iOS. In iOS, we're taking it to the next level because we will be making increased enhancements to it. Now, our customers not only have the ability to set up some URLs, some phone numbers, but also there is a new button that it's called Raise a Support Ticket. So if the customer it's on the road but doesn't need immediate assistance, they just can click this button that will open the URL of your support portal. And they will be able to automatically create their ticket directly from that button as well. So now I'll go to the client itself. So I'll show you how it works. So in the console, you already configured that URL, and you need to enable it. It's in the same configuration of the support tab in the Ivanti Go settings configuration. And when you enable that, the end users will see this button at the end of the screen where they will click on here, and it will automatically take them to your support portal, whatever URL you designed for that. Another interesting feature, as we are moving into trying to simplify the deployments for our customers, we've managed to put our tunnel application into the client as well. Today, if you want to do the per app VPN and other use cases for tunnel, you needed to manage two applications, right? You need to have the Go client on the device and then your tunnel as well. So we've combined, we added the tunnel into the client to facilitate our customers managing one application that will help end users if there is in case of troubleshooting. They don't have to go to two different applications to get logs or to send logs. Everything will be in just one client. This, as you see here, it's very easy to enable. For new deployments, this will be automatically done, but today this configuration, it's hard-coded to the tunnel app. If you wish to use the tunnel that it's already added into the client in the next release, you need to use the VPN subtype and add the bundle ID of the client. And that will automatically override the connection to the tunnel app and start communicating with the client, the iOS Go client. This is seamless. This tunnel uses all the functionalities, the same exact, you embed the whole client tunnel application here, so it covers all the use cases. And we have tested it thoroughly and it's working seamless. So I encourage you all that are using Tunnel to try it. As I mentioned, it's just a matter of create this configuration, updating it, or creating a new one with a set of devices for testing, and it will automatically go there. Just for your information, we're making some changes. We are revamping our Go client, modernizing it with the latest iOS UX in general. So you will see some of the screens changing to, you see the titles here for settings are kind of small at the top. And now we are using the standard iOS or the latest iOS images and UX. So we are trying to make it more native looking in general. So you will see this type of changes coming up. And the other change is that we are supporting the liquid glass. As we updated our application into Xcode 26, we can have those changes as well. So it will look even more native now with the liquid glass support. I just highlighted some of the changes, might be very subtle, but I think the most noticeable is the menu at the bottom. It will automatically, when you upgrade to the latest version, you will see the new liquid glass menu at the bottom. And you see here at the top, there are some, the different icons are updated as well. So all those things will change with the new liquid glass UI. Some things like the toggles, they used to be smaller and now they are kind of extended. So this is all part of liquid glass. EPMM. Okay, so I want to start with this one because this is very important. Manoj mentioned it, but I want to recommend or insist our customers to start testing the V1 apps and books for APIs have been already deprecated by Apple, right? So they are still working and there is no plan in removing the support today, but they are no longer supported in documentation, right? So if there are any issues happening, Apple will say, well, you need to use V2 APIs. This is already implemented in EPMM. We are making it visible in 12.8. So please test it out in your test environments and migrate at your earliest convenience. Some iOS 26 features, we are adding the audio accessory pairing. So in case you have a corporate device that customers are using with personal AirPods, now you can set up a temporary pairing and then it will automatically disconnect. We already had this in cloud. We are adding, this is a small change, but it was triggering some compliance issues when a device enrolls. Not all the statuses during the enrollment are ready. So if a policy triggers before the statute has been updated, it was triggering some compliance, out of compliance, right? And the device is just enrolling, right? And so what we are adding here is instead of having this during enrollment, all these three keys as false, we are just having them null during the enrollment, so it doesn't really happen. Any out of compliance. For the support tab, we were missing the key in the VPN configuration for the VPN subtype, so you can also target the client to be your tunnel application now in EPMM. We could do it with key value pairs. But we added the VPN subtype field because it's better, it's easier for our customers to leverage. A small change that we added as well to the certificate configuration, we've added the all apps access. So when we have a certificate for enabling the SSO, now customers can target all applications to leverage the certificates. We have also made a change in the new service subscription detail support because iOS 26 made a change in the backend to report only via the service subscription some of these fields. And so we are making that change so they can be reported correctly for iOS 26 devices. This is a very important change, especially for customers that have some very strong policies around the OS versions and models that can enroll in your EPMM. Usually, you know, we have the DPU that is the file in the backend where we over the air add the new OS versions that are released. Every time there is a new release, we have to manually add those new versions to the EPMM database. We do this over the air usually, also model numbers and OS versions. So when a device registers, the EPMM console can recognize that new OS version or model number. So we're moving away from that in 12.8, and we are automating it so the EPMM console can take it automatically from the device. So when the device reports to the console the new version or model number, now it can be leveraged. Some of these were not available before declarative management. We did not have that marketing name for our devices. So now that we have some statuses with declarative management, we can leverage that to make this automation. So now any new device that registers with a new OS version or a model number will be automatically added to your EPMM console. We don't have to do anything in the backend. Having said that, the nomenclature of the names might change because we will not make changes on our side and how we were putting it. It will automatically come from the device. So whatever the device reports, that's what we will have there. And then we'll keep this for N-4. So by the end of 2026, we will stop updating manually the DPU for older versions. So we recommend all our customers by the end of 2026 to be in 12.8. Otherwise, those EPMM console will not get the updated versions automatically. And Ivanti Go mobile ad work, this is same as we discussed. So we're also adding the tunnel. We are revamping the UI. We are adding support for liquid glass as well. All right, then I'll pass it on to Jason.
All right, thanks, Yasuna. All right, EPM has been for the last all of 25 and continues for 26. Top priority for EPM is security updates. We will be fixing vulnerabilities and releasing those in monthly patches or SRs as needed, as well as including them in the service updates to roll up everything. And depending on some of the security updates are substantial enough, have substantial architecture enough that they cannot go into a monthly update. They have to go into a service update. With that being said, our plan for this quarter will be SU5 for EPM 2024, and it is scheduled for mid-quarter release, February, March timeframe. It will not be January 18th with all the other products on it. That is due to a couple of changes within the architecture that we need to make on that one. All right, shifting to Windows roadmap for Neurons MDM. We would need the ability to do detection scripts for axes. We can already do this with MSIs, it's built in, right? But there are other third-party applications that we're having the ability with need to be able to do an auto update or check for it. And we haven't been able to do this for executables within the MDM framework. So we will be releasing the ability to do detection scripts on axes. Moving forward, it's been highly requested option from the field, and we've listened, and we will be able to look for the application and or do not republish in some cases if it's already installed. So it does help with the management and the amount of times that an executable file is being repushed or keeping it within compliancy. Google Beyond Corp for Windows. We have Google Beyond Corp if you're a Beyond Corp customer in iOS and on Mac OS on the Apple platforms, as well as in Android, but we have not added it for Windows yet. And so we have a stretch goal for this quarter to have this completed. It's looking like we'll be able to do one user for this quarter, and then we will support multiple users in future subsequent quarters, meaning that you can have one account set up and be able to do it on your Windows. But if you happen to have 2, 3, 12 accounts, depending on how you're set up, those additional accounts will come in at a later date. So we're excited to be able to add the Google Beyond Corp for all supported platforms within Neurons MDM. Custom attribute for Windows scripts. Again, iOS and Mac OS has had the ability to do custom script builder. And so we want to do within the custom attributes for the custom scripts, I apologize. And we want to be able to add that in for Windows scripts as well to come in and do that custom actions that you can see there on the right-hand side. So as you're building out the scripts, you can go in and specify your custom attributes available. If you're familiar with the Apple side, this looks real similar. Going out the gate, scripts that are supported are going to be PowerShell and regedit scripts. We will be looking at BAC, CMD, a few others down the road as well. New UI for the Windows settings update. We do have this in preview with the old UI right now, but we will be updating the UI. It is just an updated new UI. This will also allow us to do some native support for some restrictions, as well as update a lot of the CSPs in it. This will be a phased rollout. We will be starting with a few of them until we get it all the way rolled out. So look forward to updated and modernized UI within the Windows settings. ADMX back policies is a big one within Windows settings. With a lot of the CSPs, as you're aware, a lot of the CSPs are ADMX availability. And once we've added these, it allows us to generate CSPs a lot quicker. But then they're treated just like a standard MDM CSP for you on the back end. It just allows us to come in and update and maintain CSPs at a much faster cadence, and allow the new ones when Microsoft releases in their H1 and H2 options. When they've added a handful of new ones, it allows us to be able to add those at a much quicker pace. So we are excited to get it, as well as there's about 200 ADMX specific policies listed out that we will be able to get turned on. Again, this is rolling. The first phase will come in with a handful of them, and we'll continue every subsequent release to add more and more ADMX policies until we have all supported policies available. Windows autopilot flow has been fixed. This got fixed earlier last quarter, but we want to highlight it in case you hadn't heard. Microsoft made some changes. Was there a question? All right, background noise. Excellent. Microsoft made some changes to their intro gallery and removed our permissions, which broke our autopilot flow. We were able to get through this, and we have tested, and we are fully supported again within our autopilot flows. So Windows Autopilot within Neurons MDM is currently working. This is not waiting for a release. This got fixed, I want to say, late November. And I'm going to give it back to you at this point, Yasune. I might be the end of it.